Good evening. Hello. Welcome to the Zone Blitz, the weekly NFL female webcast that comes to you live every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time via Google Plus and YouTube. Thanks for joining us. We actually managed to go live on the air for once without all of us laughing and giggling. Although it was a close call, trust me, it was a very close call. But thanks for joining us. We are looking forward to a great show. I am Sharona. I am the official Titans fan reporter for NFL Female. Be sure to jump on our website and check out all the latest and greatest articles by all the fantastic women who write for NFL Female, www.nflfemale.com. And be sure to check out our Wednesday night podcast, NFL Wednesday Nights with NFL Female. That airs tomorrow night. But let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to kick it over to my co-host Sonja to do the rest of the introductions.
Hello, everybody. I'm Sonja. I am the official fan reporter for the Detroit Lions, the Honolulu Blue and Silver. Represent. Coming to you live from the Ann Arbor, Michigan, that is. Anyway. Always glad to be here. I'm the official Detroit Lions fan reporter for NFL Female. And so tonight we are very happy to have with us Virlisa Lane. And we're going to be she's got her Miss America wig going. And we also have Gwen with us, our Ravens correspondent, and we are so excited because we're going to be talking some NFL. Of course we're going to be talking NFL. We always do. We're going to be talking some NFC North with Virlisa, and we're going to be talking some AFC with Titans and Sharona.
It's going to be one of those nights.
I've got my adult drink going on, so I'm a little bit jittery. Anyways. So yes, I
just have to say, Sonja, at some point during this show, we might have to work in a little bit of Michigan talk because you guys are live on the news right now.
Girl, we're all the way live. We can. I don't mind. I do not mind. We can talk about it. I'm feeling a little bit better. I've got words, but I'm better.
I bet you do. All right, Gwen, I'm going to start with you. Come on in and tell everybody who you are and where they can find you.
I'm Gwen. I am NFL Female's official fan reporter for the Baltimore Ravens. You can find me on Twitter at Gwen2475.
And also hanging out with Steve Smith. Go ahead.
Yeah. That was a quick and dirty, let me get a picture, hi-bye kind of thing. It was kind of crazy last night. Yes.
Well, we're definitely going to talk about Mr. Ice Up Son and Blood and Guts and all the other little cliches that he has blessed us with, and I mean that with all sincerity. I love Steve Smith. He's great for the game. I'm so happy that he's doing very well up in Baltimore. Virlisa, come on in and tell everybody who you are.
Hello! Wait, hold on. I got to do my pageant wave.
You got it going on, girl.
My name is Virlisa Lane, and I represent the Vikings for NFL Female. So you can reach me, tweet me, touch me. No, I'm just kidding. Don't touch me. You can tweet me or find me on Twitter at @TheRealMrs.
Well, I'm very excited to talk to you because it's Teddy time in Minnesota, and boy, did he have a rather impressive debut, so we're going to get to that. Before we get started, though, I want to give a big shout-out to our guru, the lady who makes all of this possible, Liz. Thank you so much. We're always and eternally grateful to you for giving us this opportunity. All right, so we are 4 weeks into the regular season, and it's been a rather curious first 4 games. The New Orleans Saints are stinking it up. The defense that looked so good last year really is pooping the bed, so to speak. You know, there's all kinds of stuff going on, but let's start with a little quick update on the teams that we represent. So, Sonja, I want to start with you. What's going on with your Detroit Lions?
y'all, can you just pray for them real quick? Because some crazy things. I pray, do whatever, send good thoughts, whatever. Crazy things have been happening to this team. Stephen Tulloch, we lost.
The Stephen Tulloch thing, if we were still doing a play of please, he would be all over that.
Exactly.
If you missed it out there, if you missed the Stephen Tulloch thing, dude tore his ACL doing a mockery of the Aaron Rodgers discount double check.
Ugh, so sad. We lost Joe Farrier for a little bit because he was potty training his dog. Tripped over him.
His dog is adorable.
His dog is so cute.
It's a little kitty dog. It's just a little.
No, he's adorable.
Husky. It's gonna get bigger.
I heard that. I was like, oh, he must be training like an English Mastiff or something. But then I seen this.
No, he's like a little ball of you just want to hug him.
Oh goodness! And then last week, an accident happened on the freeway that leads right to the Allen Park training facilities. Your boy Matt Stafford was all of about a few feet away from where the bridge collapsed onto the expressway.
Goodness.
So, I mean, just crazy stuff has been happening, but we've also been winning. So, there you go. You know? We've talked about those actually, but that's another story for another day. But yeah, so the good thing is though that we're winning. The other thing that I've noticed, and I really want to take note of and applaud the team, is that our penalties have gone down significantly, and that is amazing. Yeah. In our first game last year, the 2013 season, when we beat the Vikings, there were
shade. There's some shade right there.
Did you see the eye rolling?
Yeah, I did. Just love it.
Don't worry, Virlisa. I'm gonna send you that one. I'll send you that clip.
There are 11 penalties in that game. In the first game of this season, we had 8 penalties in the first half, none after that. And since then, we've only accumulated, doing the math, 11. 11 altogether. So those are good signs, you know. Calvin Johnson was a little gimpy over the weekend. Last year, that would have been a death sentence. Forget about it. Game over. Not this week. So that was really good.
I want to let Gwen ask you some questions, and Virlisa too. But I would like to just make a quick comment on something that you said. It has been my impression that the Lions are a lot more disciplined this season under Jim Caldwell than they were under Jim Schwartz. So I've got to give it up to Jim Caldwell doing that job with the Detroit Lions. He's cleaned up a lot of things for that team, and I have to give him pretty good grades through the first 4 games. Big ups. All right, Gwen.
Thumbs up. Hit it, Gwen.
Have you had a chance to see the Lions?
I have just a little bit. Now, I have to say, Jim Schwartz, that's a hometown boy for me. I literally played softball with his sister.
Yeah? Jimmy Schwartz.
He actually he played with my cousins, and they lived, right down they still live right down the street. So, hometown guy, I really thought that, he's still got a job somewhere, wherever he is.
Exactly.
He's in Buffalo.
Yeah. And Jim Caldwell, he's quiet. He doesn't say much. He doesn't give up a lot of information. Apparently, on your injuries too that people were trying to get him on. He's like, what was it, concussion? Who was it that had a concussion, or they thought had a concussion?
Yeah. Joe Bell.
He's like, I don't know. No, it's fine. I'm not going to talk about it. Nothing's been confirmed. I just like the way he's
fine because I can play him in fantasy.
Oh goodness.
I love me some Josh Bynes, and you guys got the Gravedigger from us, and we should have the Gravedigger because we're struggling on our secondary, so hope you're happy.
I am, and you know what else? Is it Terrell Austin, our defensive coordinator? Is that how you say his name? Terrell Austin came from you guys too, I do believe?
Yes.
Yeah. So he's done a really good job there too, cleaning up everything. So all in all, things are going really well. And I would say this, and I've said this from the beginning. I watched that press conference that Jim Caldwell had, and I just kind of, I just paid attention more, and I just felt like, wow, this guy deserves respect, and just the way he was talking, the way he was just, I don't know, just almost like listening to my dad talk or something like that. Like, I was like, I got to pay attention. I got to listen. And from what I've seen about, and what I've read, what the players have said about him is that, he expects you to do your job and get it right the first time. If you're not going to get it right the first time, then you're not going to run that play. Yeah. So, but he's going to get the person who can. And that's, I think, what these guys needed. Just like a little bit of, let's rein it in and let's do what we know we can do. And so far, so good. Props to Mr. Caldwell for this first quarter of the season.
All right, Virlisa, you're another NFC North girl. You've heard Sonja talk about the Detroit Lions. They sit atop, not very comfortably, but at least at this point in time, they are sitting atop the NFC North with 3 wins. The Vikings are only 1 game back with 2 wins and looking pretty well under young Teddy Bridgewater. It's Teddy time in Minnesota. What are your thoughts first on the Lions, and then we'll talk a little bit about your Vikings?
Well, I'm going to be honest. Detroit has this thing that we here call the Detroit slide. So they start number 1. Then it's
Does Mr. Lane know you talk about them like that?
Yes, he does.
Mr. Lane is a Detroit fan, you see.
Oh, mixed marriage. I say mixed force marriage.
And you know, he said it's hard watching the Lions play. It's hard, but I like it. Every time we watch, I always try to say something positive. I'm like, you see what they did? That was good. That was good.
Well, in all fairness, Lions fans are long-suffering. It's been a long, hard drought for them.
Long time.
Because you know what's going to happen. You know it's going to go.
We hope not this year, but it's always in the back of our minds, and that's the scary thing. You know,
it's like they drive right up to that cliff, peek over it, and like, yeah, we're gonna dive right off that thing.
Exactly.
I mean, it's weird.
It's very weird.
No, it is. I like the Lions. I mean, Calvin, he's doing his thing. I love the new coach. He's very quiet, and I think that's what Detroit needs, is someone that's quiet.
It probably is.
Very, out there, loud. The other coach, I liked him too, but I think he was too much, and that brought too much to the players, and the players, it kind of made them a lot of control. So now that you got a little bit someone that's more quiet, that, shh, we're going to do this, just do the play, and let's be gone. And I think that's what they have improved on. Probably, the reason why we're not getting so many penalties because you guys don't have a coach that's like,
Exactly.
Jimmy Schwartz can be very excitable.
Yes.
And I think that we saw that. I think that he possibly could have survived, but him cursing out the fans was not a good look. I think that's
the Arbutus boy coming out in him.
That's Yeah. Okay, so it's Teddy time in Minnesota. I give Teddy high grades for his performance. What were your thoughts on it, Virlisa?
Well, I was at the game on Sunday, so it was exciting to see.
Oh, cool.
I mean, we were getting there on the campus shuttle, just getting to the game. Everybody's like, Teddy. I'm like, we're not at the game yet.
There's excitement.
It was exciting. I mean, we've been stuck with the quarterback. Like, I ponder. I don't know what to do about him. He's a smart guy. I mean, he's got the looks. He's got the girl. You're smart. You have like 8 degrees, but you can't throw a football. I don't get it.
It's kind of important.
You can't do everything well. I mean, let's be honest.
I know, but Teddy, that's my boy right now. And you should have. It was funny to see when he was getting rolled off the cart because we couldn't see it on the field, so we're looking at the screen and everybody's like, they're playing with us. That's a joke. Why is he getting rolled away on the card? And I'm like, I don't see him. And everyone were looking at the screen, and then when we finally did make eye contact, just everyone's face just dropped.
Oh, it's like somebody snatched your Christmas present.
Yes, like we got here, we finally got a quarterback, and now you want to take him away, and then Ponder goes in, and everyone's just like, oh gosh, don't throw. Don't throw.
Aww.
But so we are very excited for a quarterback that is mobile and that can throw and that's not afraid to get out of the pocket and we need that. We need that. So we are happy here in Minnesota.
Yeah, and I know Teddy didn't practice today. It's a short week. The Vikings play the Green Bay Packers Thursday night. I'm sorry? Hello?
Hello?
Oh, okay. I know that the Vikings play Thursday night. What is the expectation? Is he going to play or not?
Well, that's what I'm worried about because no one's saying or giving a definite answer. It's we're getting there's improvements today. Well, I don't want that. I want yes, he's playing or no, he's not.
No. The injury game in the NFL is so frustrating.
And Zimmer, he kind of doesn't like to give up too much information. I get it. I like that. But right now, I need something. I need an answer. Is he playing? Is he out or is he in? That's what I need. But it sounds like he's in. And then, again, we're still nervous because he's hurt. How far, how long can he play with this injury? Dante Culpepper had the same injury and played for weeks. Can he do something like Dante Culpepper with this injury? It's just, we're all sitting here on pins and needles like, what's going to go? We know we need him.
Right.
And we want him.
But do you really want to risk it? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. He's so young, and it's a short week. You want him to be your quarterback. I say just sit him out. That's me.
Yeah, if Ponder was better, if Ponder was better, I would completely, but he's not, right, Virlisa?
No, he's terrible, but I want to beat the Packers. I have worked with a bunch of Packer fans, so I want to beat the Packers. So, can't do it, Ponder.
Yeah. Hey, but you know what though? I will say this: I am impressed how you guys have played, especially that first game of the year. They came out, they did their thing. I was very impressed. Very impressed.
The defense is improving. The defense is improving tremendously. I mean, if we can work on third downs, getting off the field and 3 outs, I think we'll, that's where we're at right now. Once we get that, we're all good. I mean, and Aaron Rodgers, he excels on third downs. He excels. So if we can stop him on third downs, it's in the bag. We win. But,
and also talking about, the teams who are kind of surprising this year, the Packers have been one of them. And so, if you guys can get to them early, it might not be a high-scoring game, but I think, you might be able to do some things. They've got problems with their O-line.
They're definitely beatable.
Yes, they are.
And plus the Lions beat them, so hello.
Hey!
Where are my sunglasses? The shade is shining pretty bright, I have to say. The Packers have really surprised me, too. They are not playing like I would have. They've got a lot of problems, too. I think that it's past time for them to move on from their defensive coordinator. I think Dom Capers has outlived his usefulness in that system. They don't seem to agree. Hey, call me. I've got answers for you. But the Packers are rather curious as well. But what about the Chicago Bears?
Bears. I think.
What about them?
I mean, they're kind of they don't win at home, it looks like. So there's that. They win on the road. They can only win on the road. Their defense, I thought, was, supposed to be it. I thought, and Kyle Fuller does scare me. He does scare me. We could have had him, but he scares me.
We could have had him.
I'm trying to figure out what are they doing with Jared Allen. I'm like, he did so much for the Vikings, and you guys just got him doing Bo Diddley. I'm like, can we see him do what Jared Allen does? And I have not seen him. Still having a hard time seeing him in these colors. But I haven't seen him do anything. I'm like, you haven't even got a chance to rope up the cowboy. I have not seen him do his thing. And I'm just like, okay, you guys don't know what you are doing because Jared hasn't done his job yet. And
I want to get Gwen in here to ask some questions, but I do want to comment on one thing, Virlisa. The Greg Jennings relationship with Green Bay is a constant source of amusement for me. And Sonja and I have been fortunate to speak with his lovely wife, who is just wonderful, and Nicole Jennings. And
she's very sweet. We got to get her back on.
We need to get her back on. The Posh Mommy, if you've not checked out Nicole Jennings' website, definitely check that out. But what do you make of this? It's like and I don't think it's intentional, but I think every time Greg Jennings talks, he says something that makes the Packers fans mad.
Well, Greg he likes to talk, and he's a good talker. Yeah. But I think he's just trying to get under the skin and make, a good game. He's trying to get entertained. He wants a good a good game. Everyone's entertained. So yeah, he's gonna kind of like start stuff, instigate stuff. But it's all fun and games. I think with Greg.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree.
He's a funny guy, but I look at it and I'm like, ooh, you are starting stuff.
He does seem like to start it, but he's always act so innocent about it. What? What did I say? I didn't do nothing.
Exactly. I think he's just trying to. He's trying to start some, make sure we guys, we have a good game, but, will it make them play better? Probably not. The Packers will probably not play any better than what they are, but we'll see. Maybe. I hope not.
We will definitely see. Gwen, did you get a chance to check out Teddy's first game, his debut? And what are your thoughts on the Vikings?
I was just curious about what the new running back that's replaced Adrian. That's what I didn't really watch the whole Yes. Yeah. So how was he being received, and how was he taking on that? Because we kind of have the same situation going. Yeah. We had our top running back gone, and somebody else has to step up.
Those running backs, I tell you what.
I know.
They're the new They're the new divas.
They are
problem children.
They are. Well, with Matt Asiata, I always did like Matt Asiata, and being behind Adrian's shadow, he couldn't get out there. But a lot of people are saying that he's not doing what he could, or he's not running, he's not sticking. But what he did on Saturday or on last Sunday, I think he got it. He has it in him. I was he's definitely got some moves in him, and we just give him. It's only been a couple of games. Give him some time, and he's going to show it.
Thank you.
Yeah. And now I actually picked up Jarrett McKinnon a couple of weeks ago and played him. I think I played him this weekend. He had a nice little game himself. A very exciting young running back.
He's a little fireball. I mean, even at training camp I seen, I was like, who is this little? I mean, you couldn't see him because he's only so tall. No. I'm like, I like him. Hopefully he makes it. But I'm glad he did. He's on. He's active. He's on the roster. He's quick. He's kind of reminds me of Sproles because you can't see him and he just shoots out of nowhere. I'm just like, whoa, you're fast. He's fast and he's short. So you're not gonna be able to see him. You're not gonna be able to see him. So
all right, one more question, and then we're going to turn to the AFC. Cordarrelle Patterson, Virlisa, what's up? Can you guys not figure out how to use him?
I don't know why we're not using him. I mean, he's got good hands. He's got the height. I don't know. Call Zimmer. I don't know. I'm like,
Coach,
Zimmer.
what's up? Coach, call me. We need to talk.
I don't get it.
If you're a coach in the NFC North, give Sharona a call. She's got a couple of things.
I've always got something to say.
Trying to figure this out. I mean, I have him on my fantasy, and I'm sitting here. I'm like, dude, you were supposed to give me like all these points, but no one.
Well, his first game was like otherworldly, and then it's like they forgot he was on the roster. I don't know.
I'm like, what, can we use him? I mean, he can catch, can't he? I mean, I've seen him.
He can catch. We know he can run. They ran him that first game. I mean, I don't know. It's
Sharona, I don't know either. I'm so confused. I'm like, somebody calls him or tell him, use him up. I don't know.
Exactly. You got him. You
smile. Maybe we use him for his looks.
All right. Well, Gwen, I want to give a big shout out to you and your Baltimore Ravens doing that thing out there. You're at the top of the division. You're tied. You've won 3 games. My Titans are on a 3-game losing streak. They look terrible. They are incompetent. They are absolutely awful on the field. So let's talk about the Ravens.
Well, since we've had such a horribly rough start to the season, like I can safely say I have not enjoyed our season so far until this weekend.
Yeah.
It's been rough. It's been dramatic.
Good for you guys. I'm so happy for you.
It's just been crazy. And, you know, maybe the Steve Smith drama with the Carolina Panthers.
That was fun.
I mean, he's ridiculous. He just makes it happen. He is our replacement for Anquan Bolden.
Yeah.
Finally. Like Torrey finally got his touchdown.
He did.
He's been getting horrible grief from fans saying you're washed up, you're trash, you're everything like that, and it's just ridiculous.
Keyboard heroes.
I call them Twitter gangsters. That's what I call them.
Seriously.
I have to say this, Gwen. I've disagreed with John Harbaugh on some things, but I have to give that man props. All the drama, everything that the Baltimore Ravens have gone through, he's held that team together. That team is playing. They haven't missed a beat. They might actually, and I hate to say this, they might actually be better without Ray Rice because Ray Rice, as a running back, he's toward the end of his career. I don't think that there's any debate about that. The running game has been a little interesting. Bernard Pierce can't stay healthy to save his life.
No.
So thank God for my little Justin Forsett that I didn't really notice before when he was, playing. But when I saw him at training camp, and I was like, look at that guy. You could just tell he was a hard worker and heart. And that's what I love. And he just goes out there to work. And he will bounce off of some linebackers and just bounce it in. And then here comes Lorenzo Taliafiero.
Yeah.
Who's much bigger and is just bulldozing through the line. So these guys everyone has stepped up. And had horrible with Dennis Pitta. I mean,
that guy. You feel horrible for him.
Wow.
Yeah,
poor guy. I really feel badly for him. He can't. Another guy that has struggled with injuries there. Steve Smith infamously came out and said when he signed with the Baltimore Ravens after his release by the Carolina Panthers that he had circled that date and that there were going to be blood and guts all over the field, something like that. D'Angelo Williams this past week came out with his goggles saying that they were, which I thought was brilliant and funny. But I gotta say, and there was a fluke play involved, but still, Steve Smith is out there doing that thing. He is giving old man time, giving old man time, the middle finger, and saying, "Old? Who you talking about being old?"
Right.
Yeah. He out here balling, y'all.
He plays wide receiver like a linebacker. Like he can't tackle him. He is just a beast, and he's little. I mean, you saw the picture with me. I'm 5'2". He's a little guy.
Yeah.
And I was shocked when he came sneaking in through the restaurant like a ninja. Like, oh, there he is. Look at him. Came with hat on with the hood up. We're used to Jacoby Jones coming in and saying, "Hey, everybody, I'm here." hide his head these days.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
So, for some reason, can't catch the ball.
Yeah, speaking of linebackers, I need to get an update on my guy, C.J. Mosley, and then I'm going to let, Sonja and Virlisa ask.
He is fantastic.
So jelly.
I know. I think he's getting, I think they're nominating him for some kind of Rookie of the Week award or something, or something like that. He's just, everybody's solid on our defensive line. Even our O-line, we lost Eugene Monroe. All of a sudden, he has a knee injury and he has surgery. So then
that was weird.
That was just out of the blue. So who did we pick up? And I can't even remember what his name is. And
yeah, I can't remember either.
I can't remember what it was.
Right.
Wagner on one side and whoever this new guy, James Hurst, wasn't even drafted. And didn't even, nobody complained, nobody saw anything, so coach says, I think he did his job because I didn't even notice him. And Joe didn't get sacked at all. So our only problems right now are in our secondary, and I don't really know what their problem is. besides being without Lardarius Webb.
Yeah, they've had some injuries, and that's definitely impacted them, in my opinion. So now refresh our our memory. When is Webb expected back?
It's been week to week because we thought he would be back for this past game, and he wasn't.
That's what I was thinking. It's rather curious.
They just keep saying that he's not up to game speed yet. I think he's probably got a more significant injury than they would admit, or that he wants to admit.
Yeah.
So they, brought in Deontay Stewart. I think that's his name. Jimmy Smith, the quarterbacks are staying away from his side of the field, and they're gunning towards Shockey Brown and Matt Elam, who don't know when to turn around to look for the ball.
Matt Elam, very young guy, his second season in the league.
And Matt Elam, I don't know. I had more high hopes. I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah, the young safeties have struggled. You're seeing Matt Elam is struggling. Kenny Vaccaro is struggling down in New Orleans. And they both had rather fantastic rookie seasons. Matt Elam really – Matt Elam struggled a little bit last year, and there were definitely some things with him. The other guy, Jonathan Cyprian, down in Jacksonville, has been injured. I'm not actually even sure. I don't think that he's played yet either. We'll have to check that out. But yeah, so all right, we're 4 games into the season. Let's do a little bit of grading. I've been kind of into that here lately. And we'll start. We're gonna start since we're talking to Gwen. We'll start with Gwen and then work our way around. Gwen, give me a grade, offense, defense, and coaching for the Ravens, and then I want your offensive MVP and defensive MVP.
Okay, so offense, I'm going to give us an A- because it can always get better. It's like a yearly review.
Yeah.
And I would say, got to give Steve Smith part of that. Steve Smith Sr. He's just.
He would be my offensive MVP. I would choose him.
Yeah. Defense. I think you got to give it to Elvis Dumerville.
Okay.
I mean, he has been the one that's come out of and had a few sacks each game. And I'm gonna.
What's Terrell Suggs doing? Is he doing anything, or
he just got his first sack this time? He's struggling with a groin injury.
Oh.
So he came out a little bit early from this last game.
Okay. Because he's been really quiet, which is
very quiet.
Very,
very quiet.
Not like T-Speezy.
Yeah. And coaching, I guess we'll go with the B.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Good enough. All right, Virlisa, your turn. Offensive grades, offensive MVP, and then defensive grades and defensive MVP, and then coaching.
Okay. Offensive grade. I'm going to give them, since, last week, I'm going to give them a B+. If you would have asked me a week before, it would have been a C- because of Khalil not knowing what he's supposed to be doing. But I'm going to give us a B+. because they did some things that I'm very proud of. Offensive player or MVP, Teddy time. It's gonna go to my boy Teddy. Defense, I'm a sucker for defense, so they're gonna get like an A++. Even
they're much better. They're much improved this year.
Yes, even though I'm gonna give them an A++, just because I can and I love the defense.
Yes.
The player or MVP is gonna go to Harrison Smith.
Okay.
I think he has improved. He is everywhere. Him and Captain. I'm gonna give them both MVP. Captain and Harrison.
I meant to ask you about this guy when we were doing your review of the Vikings. What are the thoughts on Everson Griffin? You know, he got that big extension during the off season. Hadn't really done a whole lot.
I don't. You know, and it's me. Every time someone signs this contract or their contract, it usually they don't do anything once they get the money. I mean, is it just me? Or I don't know, because I'm just like it just seems that when people sign those contracts, they kind of decline, and I'm like, you guys got the money. Why are you declining in your play? I mean, it's just. I don't know.
Because they got the money.
It does seem to be common.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm hoping I'm not hoping he better pick it up.
Definitely needs to pick it up.
I've seen him play. I know what he's capable of doing because I've seen him. He's good at what he's doing. But you better bring it. Bring the rain. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. All right. What about coaching? Mike Zimmer, first season with the Minnesota Vikings. What kind of grade you want to give him through 4 games?
I'm going to give him an A because he's Zimmer. I mean, he goes. Have you seen his press conference? It's like he answers questions in like 5 words.
I love the guy. I love him.
They're like, is Teddy going to play? I believe so. You're like, what does that mean? I believe so. He answers every question in like 5 words. I was like, okay, I guess. But then, you know, that's what I like about him.
Yeah.
He gets it. He gets his players. You know, he cusses like a sailor, but
yeah,
yeah.
He gets to the point. He gets to the point. So
as long as he doesn't direct it towards the fans, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, right. Yeah, man.
I know he's a good guy. I wasn't, you know, feeling him in the beginning, but he's good. He's good. He's a good catch. So I'm glad he's here. So I'm going to give him an A.
All right. Okay. Sonja, you're up.
All right. My offensive MVP right now is going to be Mr. Matt Stafford. He's getting the ball out to all his peoples. He is protecting the ball. He's still throwing it into double coverage a little too much for my liking.
Yeah,
but,
he's a gunslinger.
You know, he is a gunslinger. Has that little, you know. Anyway. But yeah, so far he has done a pretty decent job protecting the ball, throwing for a lot of yards, 3 interceptions so far this year. So I'm okay with that. I'm pretty okay. He's running for a couple touchdowns. He's looking pretty good. My defensive MVP, I want to call them co-MVPs, but
that's fine. You can do that.
DeAndre Levy, my boy, taking some balls, stealing or intercepting the ball. Sorry, my drink. And then Darius Slay, little corner coming out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm loving him. He is doing such a great job this year. Last year, you know, he was starting to get it together. Had that injury out in Pittsburgh after the Pittsburgh game, and he's bringing it this year. So far, had his first career pick 6 interception. Beautiful. So those 2 are my co-MVPs. And coaching, I'm gonna give them a B+ so far. I'm gonna give them a B+. There's room to improve, but I love what I'm seeing so far. B+.
All right, well, I'll play along because I actually did grades for the Titans yesterday. I don't know what day it is. Monday. The Titans are not playing very well right now, so the grades were not they weren't positive. For the offense, they've got to get like a D. They are averaging 15 points per game right now. They can't stay on the field. They're not getting anything going. The offensive MVP, without question, is Delaney Walker, tight end Delaney Walker, who is
her boo.
My boo. I ain't ashamed.
Tight end on my fantasy. He is not I'm a little upset.
Yeah. No, yeah, he is having another great year, an excellent pickup by the Titans in the offseason last year. I want to remind everybody that I practically begged them to do that, and they did it, and I was so happy about it. The defense, I will give them a C-. They get a positive grade because the defensive line has been okay. They were getting some good pressure, and they still get pressure at times. Darrell Casey is a beast. He's doing really well. I would like to see his beasting translate a little bit more into sacks. They haven't registered a sack. My dog is like crazy. I hope you guys can't hear her too much. They haven't registered a sack since the Dallas game, and I think actually in the first half of the Dallas game, the linebackers got like a C. They're okay. They need to be bigger playmakers, and there's some guys on there who are on milk cartons right now. So, and the secondary is a hot mess. It's a hot, steaming pile of mess. Bernard Pollard, by the way, Gwen, we still love Bernard Pollard here. Bernard Pollard, and he's still good, and I don't have any complaints whatsoever about his performance. George Wilson, the other safety who gets worked in packages, he's very good. I don't have any complaints about his performance. The free safety, Mike Griffin, has been terrible this year. Jason McCourty has been okay. He's battling injuries. He's a little gimpy. Cody Sensabaugh is having their slot nickel corner is having a good year. Poor Bleedy Ray Wilson is not having a good year. He has really struggled. They're taking advantage of him. He's getting worked over every single game. So he gets a bad grade overall. So my defensive MVP, I think, has to be Jarrell Casey. I wanted to say, I'll give honorable mention to both Bernard Pollard and Wesley Woodyard, who are also playing very well. Wesley Woodyard's the defensive captain. He's the guy who calls the plays. He's playing a lot. He's overall playing very well. Misses some tackles every now and then that you wish that he wouldn't. I think that that's correctable. I think he can do better with that. And so coaching, I give the coaching a big fat F because this team looks worse this year than it did last year, and there isn't a position group on this team that is better. Every single position has regressed. The team has not looked prepared. They've not played well. They have been undisciplined in the past 3 games, and I think all that has to go back to coaching. So, head coach Ken Wisenhunt said after the game that they were going to reevaluate things, that maybe they hadn't evaluated the players correctly. They were going to simplify things, which will be very good. And so we'll see. Hopefully there'll be some improvement. You'd like to say it can't get any worse, but I think actually it could probably get worse, and nobody wants to see that because it would not be. It's already not pretty football. It would not be pretty football. So. All right, that is my Titans report. So hopefully they will win this Sunday against the Cleveland Browns. It's a game that they should win. So, all right, we on this show like to talk a little bit about women in sports. There really hasn't been a whole lot going on, but I do want to get your thoughts on the fact that the NFL has brought in for all intents and purposes. Now, we're still watching and learning to see what they're actually going to do. But they brought some women in to advise them on issues that concern women, like domestic violence and some of the other issues that are going on. I think that it's a major step. I think it's a good step. Sonja and I have talked about this before, but I want to get Gwen and Virlisa to weigh in on it. So, Virlisa, I'll start with you.
Well, I mean, okay, that's of course that's what they're going to do. They're going to hire some women to help them with this. It's just, why did it take them so long to do it? You guys knew that women watch this sport. You know what these guys. I mean, don't act like you guys don't know what's going on behind the scene or off the field. I just want to know why it took them so long. I mean, you could even. I mean, the guys are coming in with these type of growing up seeing this, and it's just I don't know what took them so long. I don't get it. Yeah. It's not domestic violence is not. It's not new. It's just surprise.
Yeah, I mean, it's like 2014. Why did it take the NFL so long to figure out that maybe getting women involved, might be a good thing?
Duh. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Goodell, sometimes I look at him and I'm like, what are you doing as the commissioner? I mean, you don't get. Didn't your wife say something? I know you have kids. Wouldn't you want to see more women and doing something for this? It's just, I'm surprised. I'm very surprised.
How would you grade Roger Goodell's performance as commissioner?
Can I do the eye rolling? Did you get the eye roll?
Yeah, okay. I like the eye roll. I think that's an excellent grade for, eye roll.
How he handle things, I don't like.
Maybe a little side eye in there.
Yes, he gets the side eye, the front eye, the
stink eye.
The stank eye.
He's just, I didn't like how he handled things, and it looks like it. Unfortunately, it was kind of something that I could see him doing, but I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, and you didn't help. You didn't help it. And the thing is, I knew you were gonna do it. That's the thing. I knew you weren't. You're just. He's kind of scandalous, if you ask me. I think he's got some scandalous, manners in him, and he needs to figure things out. It's just, I don't know. Does he need to step down? No, he doesn't. He doesn't need to step down because he's made millions of dollars. He's not going to step down. He's done some good things. Yes, he's done some good things. Especially when it comes to the coaching and getting coaches, certified. That is great. I think that is a wonderful idea. But there's so many things that I'm just not happy, and he could really, really do better. Now, having this extra group, I hope it helps him. It better, because he's in the doghouse. I
think that he is in the doghouse with a lot of women. Gwen, what do you think? Are these the women, are they going to have an actual role, and what do you think about the NFL doing
this? I think they'll have a role, and I think it's terrible that the way that it happened, but it's almost like a blessing in disguise that it did happen because things needed to change.
Yes.
So it sucks that my running back had to be the poster boy for it. And start all of this, but I guess if anybody had to do it, or if it had to happen, it's going to happen on a big stage like this where people are going to be watching. And now, if there are women there, they're going to call them out, and if it's not done right, obviously people have got it out for Goodell, so people are going to call him out, and they're going to be watching him with a microscope.
Oh, definitely.
I like that. I know the Ravens just hired. We have a local women's shelter, battered women's shelter called the House of Ruth, and they've brought them in, and but then they've kind of gotten scrutinized for you're being a sellout. That now you're bringing them in, and it's like it's either way you can't win. Nobody can win, so nobody's ever going to be happy. So if our guys, I mean, even Steve Smith Sr., he's like, I don't understand how you guys can't keep your hands off of women. I don't understand. So that's his own teammate that he was just like, hello, like, what is the problem? So I think everybody's under a microscope, and it's going to have to work because like I said, it can get worse, but let's not hope that it's going to get any worse.
Very true.
I think that progress comes in sometimes in small baby steps, and I think that you have to be appreciative of those baby steps, and and hopefully when we get to this point where it maybe looks like we're getting ready to make some giant strides, that that will get there. I mean, I don't know. I want to see. I still want to see more. I want to see these women actually have a role. I want to see what the NFL is going to do. I'm not satisfied by the window dressing. I want there to be some actual substance here. And so far, I really haven't seen any. Well, I should take that back. I think that we're seeing some, because there have been there's been an effort to sit guys that that we might not have seen before. So I think that is an effort. But we'll see. How would you grade Roger Goodell's performance, Gwen?
I'm sorry, you kind of broke up on that one.
Oh, I said, how would you grade Roger Goodell's performance?
Now that he's gotten caught, and I guess after his...
Was that the eye roll? I think I seen an eye roll.
Yeah, that was
eye roll. I think I saw an eye roll too. Maybe even a stink eye.
Maybe a C plus or a B minus. I mean, I think he's kind of shady, but he has made millions, and owners are getting paid and the teams are getting paid, so people aren't really going to complain too much. It's us fans that don't make anything off of it that are complaining.
Very true.
Yeah, but I think that they are being responsive finally.
They have to be.
Yeah, especially to female fans who have really raised an outcry. Outcry. I will get it out in a minute. An outcry. My puppy's got me all upset. So, all right, real quick, let's talk some Tom Brady. We've got some time. I want to get you guys to weigh in. Tom Brady is in the second year of a season that where he's not played like the Tom Brady of old. The decline appears to be setting in. Time to turn it around. Still a lot of time. Monday Night Football was pretty bad. It was so bad. The Patriots were being blown out so badly that Jimmy Garoppolo made an appearance and finished the game. Where do the Patriots go from here with Tom Brady? Bill Belichick says there's no quarterback controversy, but if he continues to play poorly, what should they do? And Virlisa, I'll start with you.
I'm so tired of Tom Brady. He can go sit down. I mean, oh my God.
Sit down. Sit your butt down.
Yes, that's what he needs to go. Just sit down. I mean, yes, you were good. You're not good anymore. Let the other guy play. I mean, he sucks right now.
Tom Brady said that he would retire when he sucked.
Well, you know what? Let's get the
retirement game last
out.
night. So. Yes. Sonja, what do you think?
I think for now it is still his team, but if he does continue to play as craptastic as he has the past couple of games, if it's towards the end of the season and the Patriots probably aren't going to win, if it looks like the Patriots probably aren't going to win the division, then yeah, go ahead, sit him down, let Jimmy play. You drafted him for a reason. So I see that, but I don't know if it was just the fact that, I don't know. I mean, maybe they just met their match last night with Kansas City. I mean, Tom Brady, Kyle Orton now in Buffalo, Ryan Tannehill, and Geno Smith. Okay, he's still Tom Brady in the end, I think, and maybe last night was just off. I don't know. But
the old Tom Brady would have came back and won that game.
That is true. That is true. Yeah. Old Tom would have, but maybe he doesn't have that magic anymore. And if he doesn't, go ahead.
Yeah.
In the words of Virlisa, sit your butt down.
Sit your butt
come back and be Michigan's athletic director. Sorry.
Gwen, what do you think? What do you think? Tom Brady, is he... Is this Gwen? Let me ask you this: is this Tom Brady's last season in New England?
I think it's too early to tell. And I can't stand the man's hair. That's how much I can't stand Brady. I'm with Terrell.
He wears Uggs.
He wears Uggs and he has a bad haircut, and I can't stand him.
Yeah.
But I was even expecting to wake up and seeing that he would have come back and won that game for him last night because I had to go to bed. I love seeing him being a powder. I do. But I think it's too early. I say if it's 2 or 3 more games, we're in the middle of the season, and he's still not doing well, then yeah, maybe they need to start having him.
I am so sorry. She will not shut up.
Oh.
It's all good, honey.
But also, if he's sucking that bad, I'm really sad that we're not going to see him this year.
Yeah.
In the regular.
Now you all leave my Michigan man alone.
Yeah, I just wonder, there were some people last night talking about the New England Patriots trading Tom Brady. I don't know.
I don't see that.
That would be an awfully difficult thing for them to do. It definitely would be.
I don't think he'd want that.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would that be. I think that it would be a terrible way to treat their future Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
To trade him. So I would envision Tom Brady.
Brett Favre. I can see him retiring, then coming back, and then retiring, and then coming back.
Could you? I don't know. I don't think so.
I can see him.
We'll be watching to see definitely if that does happen. I don't see that happening. Tom Brady has been very clear that he wants to retire as a New England Patriot. I don't see him wearing another uniform.
His wife is going to get on his nerves, and he's going to be like, "Oh, I'm back."
Now, Brett Favre, I totally could have seen that. I mean, that's Brett Favre. That was Brett Favre all the way.
He's likable, and he's a man, Brett Favre.
Tell me the keyboard.
Brett Favre wears Wranglers, not Uggs.
That's right.
He's a man.
And apparently he sends photos, but that's another story.
He's obviously been hit in the head a lot. I mean, it's a little hard to watch him sometimes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, the hour is almost up. It always goes by so fast.
It does.
So I'm going to kick it over to Sonja to let her do the introduction or the outros, and then I will take us out.
Well, thank you so much to Gwen and Virlisa for joining us tonight. We had such a great time. You guys are the best. Virlisa, you got to come back on again as the Teddy Bridgewater experiment continues throughout this year. We got to get your updates. So, yes, thank you so much for coming on. Why don't you tell everybody once again where they can find you?
You can reach me, tweet me at The Real Mrs. Lane. So, yes, tweet me.
Yay!
Yay! and give Mr. Lane a big one pride hug for me, okay?
No.
Thank you.
No, I will not. Not during football season. No.
Okay, well then after. All right, Gwen, and thank you for coming on to Gwen. Why don't you tell everybody where we can find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Gwen2475. I'm the official NFL female Baltimore Ravens reporter.
Sweetness. And then, of course, I'm Sonja. I write for NFL Female. I am the Detroit Lions fan reporter. You can find me on Twitter at mom, 2, 3, RN. You can also find me writing for A Good Sports Hang, me and the guys over there. Again, Travis, Beer, anybody. Invitation's always open for you guys to come on. And you can find me also with my friend, a good friend of NFL Female, Bo, speaking on sports. I'm their Wolverine correspondent, and we've got a lot to talk about coming up soon. Sharona.
Yeah, I had to take it easy on you, Sonja. I mentioned Michigan, but yeah, I didn't really want to talk about that. I know that's
okay.
That's a hard situation. I'm Sharona. You can follow me on Twitter at Sports by Sharona. Apologies to everyone for my puppy dog in the background barking. She's not usually like this. I'm going to have to go. There will be measures. So, you can find me every Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock a.m. on 7:30 Yahoo Sports, Game Over with Fast Eye and Sharona. You can find my writing at NFL Female at Pro Player Insiders and at NGSC Sports. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week with another great show. Have a very pleasant Tuesday evening, and we'll see you next week.
Night-night.